Hello and welcome to Horror Mania Empire. I'm Josh,
And I'm Jacob.
and today we will be discussing some speculation for Halloween Horror Nights 30. Before we begin, I just want to say that everything we're going to say today is just our own personal opinions based on rumors. None of this is confirmed, so don't take this as pure fact.
So we're gonna go into questions of how the event could work this year.
Yeah, we're going to talk mainly about what we think the scare zones will be like, what the houses may be like. So our first question we're going to go into is, how do we think the scare zones will work this year? Because obviously they have to make some sort of adjustments due to, a certain pandemic. So we want to discuss our own opinions of what we think they could try and do this year. So Jacob, why don't you go first?
Well, normally the scare actors in the scare zones just walk around. They come up behind you, in front of you, anywhere to get you to be scared. But how will they make it so they stay as far enough away from you while still scaring you?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. So you answered the question with the question.
Yeah.
This is what I was thinking.
Further.
Generally, how I see them doing scare zones this year is they themselves don't need to be in your face to scare you. If you know anything about Horror Nights, there's times in scare zones where they'll be holding a prop or something, and that flies in your face, scaring the hell out of you. So I think they're gonna rely upon scares like that, and then little stage shows and corners. It's a anniversary year.
Yeah.
Could be similar to the Icons year, that scare zone with 25.
Yeah.
They all had their own little stage shows for a killing.
Well, that would be really good now, too. Something like that.
Yeah, because then you can keep the performers away from the actors. It's just people can't really crowd up as much, for sure. The main issue I'm seeing is how can they truly stay away from people unless they keep a path in the middle for people to walk through. It's really going to come down to there's several options Universal can do to manage the crowds, but it all comes down to the key point of managing the crowds as they go through the scare zone. They can manage the crowds. I think they can still manage to scare people without going too close in their face, therefore keeping social distancing.
Yes. They could do more stage shows than normal as well. So there's still stuff to do in this scare zone.
For sure.
Yes.
The next thing I want to talk about is something I saw very recently, a rumor about the possible shows we may have this year. So there's HHN segment versions. I think he might still be wrong on the shows, because from what I've heard, this is also pure rumors. We'll be looking at a Academy Colon 10 crossover show for Fridays. There's a couple of reasons why this year makes sense.
show. So for this year, an old rumor was that it was going to be a Billie Eilish Lagoon show, but now it's not going to look like that because there's going to be a Billie Eilish house based off of the HHN Nightmares spec map. So no one really knows right now what the Lagoon show will be. I'm thinking it's probably going to be the same thing they did last year, which is just a show filled with a bunch of scenes from the houses movies.
Okay, I can see what you're saying. Well, I know there was a video that went out, I think it was last week, where someone recorded the fact that they were actually running through the Lagoon show from last year, testing it as if it's a possibility they just use the same exact show,
Yeah.
or maybe they extend the show, which, I mean, they could just be testing the fat ones and try and make adjustments for the new show.
Yeah.
But I still think it's pretty interesting that they were doing that, because that definitely verifies the fact they are planning a Lagoon show at least. So we should be expecting one this year. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about with shows?
Not right now.
Okay, on to what everyone's here for. Houses. Our speculation on houses, how they may work, and also our opinions on the house lineup. Jacob, you can start.
Okay. So, we'll start with the lineup. This year has a lot of original houses, and there's some very interesting ones too. Like the Mannequin Theater, I think is what it's called, and the Pumpkin Original. Those are the two I'm most excited to see right now. And that's because, one, we know that lots of people are scared of like dolls or mannequins or anything that's still that can come to life. So things like that would scare people very much. So that house is going to be very cool. And then the Pumpkin Original looks like it's going to be kind of like the Scarecrow, the Reaping House from 27. So I'm really excited to do that because I didn't get to do Scarecrow that year.
Yeah, Scarecrow or the Reaping, I actually got to go through that house. I still think it's the best house I've been through. Keep in mind that was also my first year, so I don't have many years experience in Horror Nights yet. Only, 27, 28, 29 so far. But I definitely agree with the statement that the original houses look like they're going to be the main focus of this year, which I am more than happy with. Because I know there's several years that are straight up. Currently, we're in the phase that people just call the IP years. I would love to see like a revitalization of the icon years returning starting with this year. I'm willing to make a bold guess. Jack's going to be back. I'm almost 99% sure in Jack being back. Whether or not that was supposed to be the original plans, I've heard here and there whether it was or wasn't. But I'm 99% sure he's coming back. Terror Queen is who knows at this point. I know the original plans were to have something related to her. She might get her own scare zone possibly.
That's probably.
But I think they could pull something crazy and create a brand new icon for Halloween Horror Nights 30, similar like they did to HHN 20 with Fear.
Yeah.
They could even go with that unused pumpkin concept, therefore the original House of the Pumpkin concept.
Yes.
I forgot the exact name of the character. They did a reading of it a couple years back. You can find on YouTube somewhere. And it's just like a scarecrow pumpkin hybrid that would just be really cool as an icon. So even if it doesn't show up as an icon, I hope he shows up at least in the house. And we get that Scarecrow the Reaping-esque house. Mannequin Theater, I'm expecting, if they are going icons, I don't know if we could expect the usher or the director in that house, or we should just expect them only in the icons house. But the Mannequin Theater one sounds really cool. I can't wait to see what they do with that. Texas Chainsaw and The Haunting of Hill House, both great IPs. I'm fine with them. Monsters of Brides, I'm expecting Bride of Frankenstein versus, what was it? Maybe Dracula
Yeah.
Brides?
Yeah. The screaming.
Yeah, how fun that's gonna be. Billie Eilish house, interested to see what that ends up being. I'm not worried about that. And the anniversary house, it's gonna be a good house. So generally, I think the houses are gonna be great this year. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment your opinions on what you expect for Halloween Horror Nights 30. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jacob.
Stay scary, my friends. See ya.